So, as a support person or someone that wants to help either a friend, a family member, a loved one, a colleague, you want to help and support them get through their low mood, their anxiety, the depression. Sometimes it's really hard, and we want to know what we can do to help and support them. Well, one of the key things, and I guess it's part of our health coaching and what Precure has taught and supported me about, is that you actually want to stay, what we call it, is on the person's agenda, which means you're there with them. You're there walking with them, holding their hand. You're letting them know that you are there for them. Yeah? And one of the things, if you want to try and do, is to try and give them a change of scene. It might be that they're in bed and struggling to get out of bed. So it might be suggesting, how about we even have a shower? It might be, how about we go and sit on the deck if you've got one? How about we go and sit outside? A change of scene, because in that way you can just, even lifting your head up, opening curtains, looking up, there's the sense of a little bit more hope. But a change of scene is one thing. Now, another thing to do is also what we talk about, something called dissonance and resonance. Now, dissonance is when they're feeling bad, when they're not happy, and they're often closed off to things. And if you are trying to suggest, oh, I think you should eat better, you just need to exercise more, how about if you went to sleep better? They are not in a space to be able to take that or even consider that. So, advising them or trying them to get them to do something, as compassionate as you are and supportive and understanding, they aren't going to be able to take anything on. So instead, what you want to try and do is get them into this place called resonance. So this is where you want to ask them something like, tell me about the last time you felt happy, about the last time you felt true joy, and get them to explain it, to feel it, to describe it. If there's colour, if there was sound, whatever it is. And then all of a sudden what you'll start to do is they can reconnect and start to feel this feeling, because it's the feeling stuff that you want to tap into. And then once they can, like I say, you really plug into it. Tell me about that more. Oh, what did it look like? What did it feel like? And then hopefully what you'll see is, even in their body language, it might change, it might open, their colour and their light. And you can sort of say, wow, I noticed that's actually even the colour of your eyes, I can see more. There's more light, some more sparkle. You seem to be sitting taller. And because sometimes they want to connect with that again, you think, yeah, okay. And that gives them hope once again. You think, well, I did feel that. Maybe I can feel that again. And so when they're starting to feel that little bit, that's a critical moment, that this is the time when you might advise them of doing something or suggesting they could do something. And these 7 levers, so whether it is, maybe now's the time, maybe we can consider looking at eating something a bit more nutritious, or maybe this is when we can consider moving a little bit more, or this is when we can consider doing something like a cold shower, cold immersion, going for a swim. Whatever it is, this is the time, and this is when you're going to support them and champion them and make them feel that. And it takes the skill to do that, to make people do that, but that's often is just, tell me when the last time you felt good, and explain it. And all those details. So there's 3 different things, which are these key things as a support person. So number 1 is, like we say, stay on their agenda. Number 2 is that dissonance and resonance. So get them to remember that time, describe it and feel it again. And the other one is this thing we like to call is challenging. Now, a concept of challenging. Now, often this is done also, you're doing it from kindness, you're doing it from compassion, but it's also, you're doing all of this from a place of not judging them, okay? Now, it's not that you're just telling them, I want you to eat better, I want you to move more. What you're doing is, well, how about you're saying, what is the one thing that you could do right now? And so what you're going, and it might be in your mind that they need to move more, because it might be someone that they did used to love sport, they used to move a lot more, or they used to do a half-hour walk, or they did used to do a Pilates session at home, whatever. So what you're wanting to do is, I challenge you, because there's one thing you could do, all right, to change things now, is I challenge you to do your 15-minute yoga video every day for the next 5 days. Now, the thing is with the challenge, you're not telling them, you're asking, advising, but then they can, what you're then going to say is you're either going to accept it, or you're going to counter offer it, or you're going to reject it. Now, in that way, also, you are once again suspending all of this judgment, and you're doing it from a great place. But also, generally, what you'll find is they probably won't accept the challenge straight away, but they can hopefully try something different. And then that way, once again, you're not telling them, you're not advising them, but it's giving them some light, and it's also more likely that they're not going to fail because they've sort of shared it, they've thought about something. Because I know we can get low mood, I know you can feel depressed, you can feel anxious, but the thing is, they're also responsible for trying to change things as well, okay? Now, no one generally asks for it, the depression, and it's no one's fault, but the thing is, it's also their responsibility to try and move forward. So, well, if you've been a support person, another one of those great things is to do this challenge. So once again, you're going to challenge them, or it's like, give me a counter offer. And like I say, generally, well, it might be, okay, I'm going to do the 5 minutes and of the yoga. It could be, and I'll try that every day, or I might do it on every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday or something. And that's a great starting point, because also then they're accepting that challenge. They've created it. I'm not telling them what to do. And so they're feeling in that little bit more control, and they're less likely to fail. Because as soon as, if I tell someone, if they do it, then what's going to happen is, again, if they get this feeling of, I failed again. See, this always happens to me. And the rumination and the negative thoughts come in again. I'm useless. This is always happening to me. I never finish anything. And then it sets off the whole vicious cycle. So this is these ways of, as the support person, stay on their agenda, listen to them, get curious, ask them the questions, like children do, and sometimes it can be a bit annoying, but why? That's what you're doing. Why are you feeling that way? That's one of those things. But so focus on staying on their agenda, just being there, listening. Number 2, that dissonance and resonance. Get them to remind you and tell you about that time when they felt joy last, did it. And finally, the 3rd thing, give them a challenge and see how that goes. All right. Support away, because we all need our champions. We all need to know that someone is there for us.